when you got the opportunity to submit yourself for So You Think You Can Dance, you didn't just, and they said, send us a video. You didn't just like self-tape like a routine. Yeah. You went the extra mile. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, well, I had one shot to march into So You Think You Can Dance. They were in their 5th season. I had been an avid fan of the show. I had never choreographed anything on my own, but I was in LA being the associate choreographer of the Oscars. I was there for a couple weeks. My manager had one shot of getting somebody in the room to meet with them. So I went in, guns blazing. I want to do this. I'm going to change the Broadway category. These are all my ideas. And they didn't laugh me off, but they said, okay, you haven't really ever done anything, and why don't you go home and make a demo tape? So I did. I came back to New York, and I was on a chorus boy salary at the time. You don't have a lot of money, but I had been saving up for a vacation fund, and I took that money, and I hired a camera crew, and I hired dancers, and we rehearsed the crap out of them, and I came up with exactly what I wanted to do, and then I took the graphics from the show, and I put it on the tape, and I did an interview, and I did the rehearsal package, and I basically produced my own segment of the show and sent it in, and the producer said that not one person in the 5 years of the show running had ever done that, and that they knew that even though I was young and hadn't done anything, that I really understood the show. And so they called and they said, you're going to be on in 3 days. Pack your bags, you're coming to LA. And I instantly felt like I was going to vomit because I thought, oh crap, I got myself here, but like I'm about to be on the biggest dance TV show, and it'll be the first thing that I ever really choreographed that anyone will see on my own. And it was terrifying. I flew out, and they sort of micromanaged what I was going to do. They told me my song, and they didn't let me make a lot of the choices. And then I got 2 dancers that were not in my style. I got a Latin ballroom dancer and a hip-hop dancer who could spin on his head really well, but do Fosse not so much. And you only get 6 hours to choreograph your number, and it's a pressure cooker. And the number went live on TV, and it sucked. And I sat there and got critiqued and got my heart like crushed that I'd finally made this, and it was supposed to be this huge shot, and everybody in New York was so happy for me and was back here watching it happen live. And the show ended, and I grabbed my manager, and I cried for about 2 minutes, and I wiped off my tears, and I marched back into the producer's office, and I was like, this is why it didn't go right. This is what I wanted to be doing. This is what I would do differently next week. And this is one of those moments of opportunity. Tice, who was supposed to do the show the next week, was having a family emergency and couldn't. And they had a very last-second spot, and the producer said, all right, I'll give you one more shot. And I stood strong and said, I'm going to do it how I want to do it. And I got 2 great dancers. One of them was Eleanor Scott, who is now my associate all these years later.
I love that.
But I had then the best number of the night that week. And that sort of, I went from the worst to the best, and they had me on the next week, and then the next season, and 9 years later, I'm still there.